guys just you keep coming around. I just keep hearing about you guys.
And I might need to tell Ryan to cut that up a little bit and just put it in my audio for my phone.
First of all, I love the game. I had a passion to play the game, not only football, but I love the game of golf. And what it lends to a person and the friendships you develop on the golf course.
It's been a pleasure being on the drop. I wish you guys all the best down the road.
As someone like you have that golf itch like a lot of us do.
I keep track of you, and you are moving. You are on the move.
So listen, I'm a big New Jersey golf guy. You're very kind, Mike, and you too, Ryan. It's a pleasure to be on just a couple of Jersey boys here talking about something we love. All the best. I really enjoyed it.
This is the Drop Podcast where we talk golfing in the Garden State. I'm Mike Poro, and this is Ryan Coulott.
What's up, Drop Pod people? Welcome back to Interview Thursday. Today's guests are a pair. They won the New Jersey 4-ball. Mike, this was an interesting interview because sometimes it was trying to figure out whose turn to talk and all that, but we got through it, and it was a lot of fun to get to know some rather unknown guys here in New Jersey that took down a lot of big names in the New Jersey 4-ball. Henry and Sean were really cool to get to know and hear their stories and backgrounds, and that's who's on today's interview. So it was just a good wholesome educational interview there.
Yeah, it just goes to show, we're not biased. I know people think we're only going to put named people on the show, but listen, when you do big things here when it comes to golfing in the Garden State and you win one of the majors, guess where you get to come first? And the running joke is between your mom and your wife and maybe any other family members, the first DM is from me. And that's what I did to those two. And we got them on and hearing their stories. Listen, there are two sticks up there at Canoe Brook that can flat out play golf.
Yeah, we got a good laugh when we talked about, which one plays the role of Austin and which plays the one of Mike in their a little bit there. So
it's two Austins. Let's be real.
I do want to give a quick caveat. There was a little bit of internet issues. Bear with it. I think it's going to come out pretty clean, but if there is something in there, just know that we did our best to make it as clean as possible for you guys. So without further ado, we're going to send you to that interview with Sean and Henry. Enjoy.
This episode is brought to you by Gimme Cocktails. Golf season is back, and so is your go-to drink for the golf course. Gimme Cocktails is a golf-inspired canned cocktail made with premium vodka, real juice, and a splash of fizz. Choose from lemonade iced tea or pineapple, and stay tuned. A brand new flavor is dropping soon. Crisp, refreshing, and it packs a 7% punch. You can find Gimme Cocktails at Total Wine, Circus Liquors, Huddy's and Colts Neck, and select golf courses across New Jersey. It's a Jersey-based company, so drink local. The perfect drink to tee up your round or toast to a great one after. Follow at gimme_cocktails on Instagram or visit gimmecocktails.com. Gimme Cocktails. Pick it up. All right, so today's guests are the 2025 New Jersey Golf 4-ball champions. Today's guests are Sean Vowells and Henry Bolster. Gentlemen, thank you so much for coming on today's show.
Yeah, we're excited. Thanks.
This is gonna be wild, Mike. How many 4-person interviews have we done?
Yeah, not many, bud. This is like a back and forth. Let's start firing the questions away. But gentlemen, I do gotta say that victory in that weather was something else. Just seeing the pictures and what you guys had gone through was amazing. But before we even get into the tournament, let's talk a little bit about your backgrounds. How you guys got into the game, what decided that, hey, listen, let's team up, let's go do this. Why don't you give us a little bit of a background about that?
Yeah, so I'll go first. I've been playing since I was 3. My grandfather took me out there as soon as I could stand, pretty much. And over the years, got into middle school, started playing some competitive tournaments, started getting some, higher level instruction. And then, when high school came, I went to Oratory Prep just down the road from me. And we were already sort of a top 5 team in the state when I got there. And luckily we were able to do that from my time there. And when college came, it was D3 offers for me, and that's not something I really wanted to do. So I decided not to play in college, but still kept my game pretty sharp over the summer. Still wanted to qualify for all, MGA, New Jersey golf events, and I graduated in 2023. So it's been a couple years out for me, and glad to still improve. As I'm 24 years old now, and I know the time for golf is going to be evaporating as the years go up. But I'm happy to play pretty solidly over the last year, and happy to bring Henry along into this and then get carried to a victory.
No, it was a full team effort.
So Henry, where's your background there? Are you, again, growing up? Tell us a little bit about you.
So it's not quite the opposite of Sean, but it's not similar. So I played basketball a lot growing up. Golf was not my main sport. I was that kid who wanted to be in the NBA when I was younger, and my dad had to bring me down back to earth and say, Henry, you're 6'1", not 6'5". But during COVID is when I started picking up golf. I played in like small things at my club when I was younger. But during COVID is when I started taking it seriously. And that's when Sean and I got pretty close. Playing golf is really the only thing we could do. So every day during COVID, we went out, played Canoe Brook. And Sean really showed me the ropes of how to play real golf instead of just, hacking around and playing with your friends. So that's really where our relationship grew. Now for the past 4 years, I've been grinding every day in the summer and playing in the winter as often as I can. I still play basketball, but I started taking it seriously, like I said, during COVID, and the last 5-6 years has been a lot of golf, and luckily it's worked out pretty well. I'll be playing in college, and then we'll see what happens from here.
So Henry, did you go to Oratory Prep as well?
I did go to Oratory. We weren't as good as Sean's team, but yeah, I was there.
And you play hoops there as well, or just golf?
Yeah. I played all 4 years there for basketball. It was kind of a nice time off in the winter instead of going 12 months straight every year of playing golf. It was nice to kind of take some time off and just play some hoops.
Big advocate for playing multiple sports. You gotta spread yourself out. Play something different.
I agree.
Yeah, good.
So let's kind of get into this. Now, I can't lie. I'm one of those nerds that reads names and checks leaderboards and does all these types of things behind the scenes to kind of familiarize myself with names like yours. But I can't lie. I didn't see your names in years past of joining forces in this event. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but is this the first time you two teamed up in this?
Yeah, that's right. This is the first time we played together. In past years, I've been pretty busy with my own tournaments, and Sean's asked me a couple times, but he's had to hack it around with other people. And this was our first year we were able to play together, and worked out pretty well.
So tell me about the qualifying round. Where did we go? Where did we try to qualify at?
So we actually were supposed to be at Little Mill, but Rock Spring is much, much closer to us up here in northern New Jersey. So we got thrown on the wait list there, eventually got in. So it was at Rock Spring. And then I think we were even through 6 or something, and we really should have been a couple better. And we just, took a breath, little reset. Hey, we don't need to kill it here. We just need a couple of birdies to get through. And then I think we rattled off 3 in a row, 7, 8, and 9. And then we were able to get 2 more on the back 9 and ultimately end up qualifying pretty comfortably. But it was my 4th try at qualifying, and I was 0 for 3 before. So at that point, I was just pretty happy to make it.
So Sean, you're looking at this like, hey, I needed a new partner. You're 0 for 3 coming into this. You're like, hey, I got to change it up. We got to bring in the righty. We need to bring in somebody else here.
Yeah, I ended up missing by 1 last year with one of our other Canoe Brook members, but I think we birdied like 4 of the last 5. So it was almost like, it really wasn't in the cards. And then at the end of the day, we were really close. But yeah, tried to get Henry last year. He was unavailable. And then this year he was, and then, it was touch and go there for the stroke play round. It's the same day as high school tournament of champions. So had Henry made that, I would have been on my own. But unfortunately for him, fortunately for me, he didn't. So we were able to go out there and make the match play, and then we went from there.
Yeah, just a point on that. So sectionals like qualifies you for tournament champions. I shot 73 in the sectional, was 3 off and made a triple on one of the easiest holes. But I say to Sean, it was one of the best triples I've ever made because that was over the post on.
Oh, that's great. Listen, things happen for a reason. And I guess that's a perfect example of when people say that. But now you guys get in. You get through Rock Spring, a place that Ryan and I know pretty well. We got to visit a great golf course, nice layout. We actually played it the day before the qualifier was actually there. So, we know the conditions the course was in, prior to you guys playing it. But as you guys get to North Jersey, had either one of you played it before? Did you play the practice round? Tell us a little bit like leading up to that Monday, what it was like for you guys.
So I had been there a bunch, probably 6 or 7 times over the years, junior tournaments, qualifiers and stuff, but not since they redid it. But we were lucky enough to get drawn against North Jersey in the Hoffman Cup, and a week before I got to play there, which was huge because, there were a lot of changes from before and a lot of spots where you just really can't be there. So that was big. And, having now played it 6 times in 4 days, it really, really helps to see that one over and over again, probably more than most normal courses.
Yeah. No, it was my first time. Sean kept begging me to get a practice round a couple weeks before, but my schedule was just, there's too much going on, senior year things. And so the stroke play was my first time, and I was clueless. Like, there's so many blind shots. The greens are ridiculous. And Sean was just telling me, go here and try your best and put it here on the green, and you'll have a good chance at it. I think we did a good job of doing that in the stroke play and, figuring out as time went on.
Where did you guys finish in the stroke play? Part of it. I didn't pull up the sheet before, but
we were 4 under, I think. Yeah, I actually have it up because I got it up too.
Yeah, you were 4 under. They shot 67.
Yeah,
they got the 6th seed.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's
pretty good for
golf.
not ever playing. I mean, yeah. I mean, I checked the box score, and it was like you both kind of ham and egged it pretty well. Henry going birdie, 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 16, 17, 18 coming in is always a nice ending.
Yeah. So through about 11 or 12 holes, I know if Sean mentioned this, we were about even or something like that. To say the least, the vibes weren't very high. We knew we needed to get it rolling pretty quick. I forget which holes we got on the back 9, but we knew we had to get a few to be comfortably in on 16, 17, and 18. I'm trying to think what I did, but I had a good birdie on 16, rolled in from like 15 feet up the hill. 17 was it's a attackable par 5, but the river cuts across. So Sean just put one in the fairway, and I also laid up, hit one close to the green, and got up and down. And then on 18, I've hit like 40 yards right into a 10 fairway, and then hit to about like an inch from like 200. So that kind of secured us in, and it was pretty sweet.
That's crazy. Did you purposely go right, or did you block it?
No. It was a horrible drive, but it ended up working out.
Yeah, I would say. I mean, that 18, I think, is a very, very challenging hole, and to birdie it from the other fairway is beyond impressive.
Yeah, it was. I struggled in the other rounds, but it was a good birdie there to finish off a nice round.
Mike, maybe that's the play. Maybe that's like birdie alley. Go right, take the trees out of play, just put it far enough right, and you got a straight shot onto the green.
Yeah, if you're that good. I mean, for me, it's more like dink and dunk and see if I can get it around the green. George Wall Ford in Red Bank, New Jersey is family owned and operated, proudly serving New Jersey residents with superior customer service since 1960. Rye, share your story about your experience there.
Mike, I I went on a tangent in one of our episodes previously about it, but I can't say enough good things about George Wall Ford. I needed a new car. I had an old. I loved the brand that I had. I loved, it was an SUV, but had 165,000 miles on it. It was just time, So I hopped on over to George Wall Ford. I saw our guy Jerry, and Jerry and his team were awesome. I mean, from stem to stern, they're there. They're helping. They're knowledgeable. They have so many cars on the lot that you can go in and say, hey, I want a sunroof, a navigation. I want this kind of rims on it. I want this kind of this, that, and the other thing. There's a great chance that they have that car with all your specs, the color, all that thing. Me, I didn't particularly care. I was like, hey, I want to be high up in the car, right? I need an SUV. I'm a big guy. I got a dog. I got golf clubs. I got beach chairs in the summer. I need something that's a little more rugged, a little more, again, I like to be higher in my car. And I went and saw Jerry. He pointed me in the right direction. And again, it's awesome to have that kind of help and support from your salesman to the finance guy to even they got somebody who helps you set up your car, right? I got an app on my phone now that's got my auto start on it. I can locate my car if I don't know where it is. I could take a trip to Japan if I wanted to and be like, did I lock my car? And I can go into the app and lock my car. So even people helping you set up that stuff, just the hands-on approach over there is incredible. So if you need a car, head on over to George Wall. And go ask for Jerry. They were awesome there. Again, stem to stern from everybody. I can't say enough good things about it. It was an unbelievable experience.
So to Ryan's point, there isn't a better place to shop for a brand new car. Just call 732-704-1932 and ask for Jeremy Wall. George Wall Ford in Red Bank for all your car buying needs. But I think after you guys get through the stroke play portion of it, you finish 4 under, you're well within the cut line. Obviously, you got to be feeling somewhat good heading into Tuesday. Now, I know the weather, as people project it, was, going to be dicey. But in that first match of the day, kind of like what was the mindset leading into what inevitably ended up being a kind of a long 2 days for you guys?
I think you guys said it when you guys talked about the 4-ball, and once match play, everybody's kind of good, so seats don't really matter. And I think we did a really nice job of not getting too ahead of ourselves at really any stage of the tournament. We were just trying to qualify, or just trying to get to the match play. And this first match actually was the one that went the longest for us. We started on the 4th hole, which, they split the tees to get the groups out there in a timely manner, and we actually ended up going the distance. Henry made a really nice birdie on 2 to put us 1 up, and then on 3, we were, they needed to win the hole, so they pushed it a little aggressively there, and we were able to win that hole too. But that match really could have gone either way, and we just one match at a time. That's really what our mentality was, and even one hole at a time. I don't think we got up.
Yeah. I agree with Sean. We just took it one hole at a time, during the match, 18 one-hole matches is how I thought about it. And to have a partner compared to stroke play tournaments is so, like, I don't know what the word is, but I guess nice in these, because you can have a bad hole, and I trust Sean to make pars on almost every hole, and he kind of freed me up to go after some. And in the first match, we were kind of just testing it out to see how we can play match play compared to stroke play. And I think that was part of the reason why we were able to win our matches quicker later on, because we got like an understanding of what we have to do compared to playing in stroke play. But yeah, the first match was a grind, and we thought the rain would stop then, but little did we know that was just the beginning.
It's nice to have that security blanket. We've talked about that here on the show, where like Mike is that for Austin. Mike's able to usually put up some pars, and it frees up Austin to be a little more aggressive. And it sounds like that's kind of a little bit, at least, what you guys had there.
Yeah, my strategy was to play it as if I was playing a stroke play tournament and try and make pars. And, if I get a roll at birdie, try and knock it down. And then, I could allow Henry to get freed up a little bit. But yeah, the second match of Tuesday, we played a little better. We ended up winning 4-2. And we really sort of took control of it around the turn. I think we went from 1 down to 2 up in a 3-hole stretch.
Your mic keeps going in and out. So I'm hopeful that I can't hear you. But I will say this, right? I don't know if you know, but like you say, Sean's a security blanket for Henry. Sean's like a plus 2.5. So, I mean, it's not like you compare Austin and I to these guys. Like, it's not really that comparison when I'm the 32nd ranked player in the field and Sean's the security blanket at a plus 2.5, whatever he is.
So, Henry, what's your handicap? What's your index?
I'm about the same. I think I'm like a +3 right now.
Okay, so he's the better player. So one's the security blanket. Yeah, I stand by what I said. Just the security blanket could be bigger and thicker, but it maybe it's still a security blanket nonetheless.
Yeah,
blanket.
Henry's range of outcomes on an 18-hole round is probably a little bit wider than mine. He is very capable of throwing up a 65 or 66, and a lot of things have to go right for me to do that.
But if I saw correctly, I think I just saw you just shot 67 the other day with 5 birdies and 11, 12, 13 pars.
I did get through U.S. Open locals with 5 under, but that's not a common thing for me.
So, Ryan, let's put that in perspective here, right, pal? That's a nice security blanket to have.
Yeah, I'll tell you, that's a security blanket Austin wishes that he had.
Understatement. That's the one he's probably looking for.
So,
go
I was
going
to say, Sean, so not to get quickly off topic, but you mentioned it, like, so you're trying U.S. Open qualifier. What's going on with you and that kind of stuff going up?
Yeah, so I did make it through locals this year. I get to play on Monday, Canoe Brook. I think you said this will come out after that. So, let's hope I played pretty well in that. But yeah, I was talking to Chris Gaffney, the MGA director of championships, I think, after. And I said, like, hey, the only reason why I signed up is because sectionals is at Canoe Brook. Like, hey, if it wasn't, I probably wouldn't have signed up. So glad I did that. And Henry's actually going to be on the bag for me on Monday.
Oh, love that.
It'll be... Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Very nice. And we were up there. We talked about it. Canoe Brook hosts that every year. If not, it seems like it is actually every year. And it's one of those that just it's such an amazing place up there to be able to host that.
Yeah, it's a 3-year cycle with us and Century and Old Oaks in Westchester, and this is actually year 3 of our cycle. So it'll go up there for 3 and then come back for 3.
Interesting.
So this was the last opportunity for a couple of years.
Okay. Well, good luck to you. This will be out
Thank you.
after, but so we know the results.
Thank you.
But
Yeah. Yeah.
I want to kind of get into the semifinal match because I think, like getting into day 3, is like, all right, there's a lot of bonuses to getting in day 3. I don't have to qualify next year. I'm automatically in the championship. Forget about winning it. Like as you get into day 3 and you're like, okay, what is the thought process there? Like, all right, we've made it this far. Maybe we've kind of checked the box. We don't have to qualify next year. We're playing with house money. Or is the mindset different to like, dude, we can win this and we're playing well enough to win this? Like, where are you guys at with that mental frame?
Yeah. It was kind of surreal, to be honest, to get to the third day. Like we really didn't know what to expect, being our first time in, and didn't know how we really matched up against the other teams. And I kept telling Sean, like, we still haven't played our best yet. We've made a lot of mistakes. Like it's going to happen every round, but we haven't had like an almost like really perfect round, which you can have in a partner rounds. So we kept reminding ourselves that and knew that we could do some damage in the last 2 rounds. So yeah, we were definitely thinking about winning it at this point, which we really probably haven't thought about yet. And we knew it was going to be a long, long day of wet and just really hard golf against some really good players. And that's why I think Sean and I won it, because we are a really good team together because, we don't get too ahead of ourselves, and we kind of just keep our mind on the hole that we're on. That's kind of how we went into the day.
It was also sort of make the other team earn a hole, right? Because these players are going to make birdies. They're going to, maybe even eagles, but you really can't give away holes with pars. And par became a lot more valuable when it got all wet and the course got a lot longer. And I think that, our last match against the Walls wasn't our best, score, but I think with the conditions and, sort of what was on the line, it was definitely our highest quality match. I think we were 4 under through 11 with no bogeys. And, some of those holes are a lot longer when the ball doesn't roll in the fairway, especially for me. Some 5 and 6 irons into par 4s. And when we got to 4, we thought we were in a really good spot. It was rain delay and the Walls had a little bit of a charge when we came back, but we put ourselves in really a great position, and luckily for us, they weren't able to catch us.
The New Jersey Golf Foundation, the charitable arm of the New Jersey PGA section, is committed to positively impacting lives and communities through the game of golf. With a focus on 3 core pillars, youth, military, and special needs, and led by PGA of America golf professionals, the New Jersey Golf Foundation hosts a dynamic lineup of annual programs for all levels and abilities and a series of special events to support programming. Signature youth programs include Golf in Schools and PGA Junior League, while military programming is highlighted by PGA Hope, helping our patriots everywhere, a weekly rehabilitative golf program that is saving the lives of military veterans. The foundation is also a strong advocate for inclusion through its support of Special Olympics New Jersey Golf and L's for Autism. To support programs and special events, please visit njgolffoundation.org or call 732-465-1212. That's njgolffoundation.org or 732-465-1212. I think one of the things that I think when you guys got into that final match that kind of helped in a lot of respects is, Jeremy and Ethan got done early. Like, obviously one of their guys that they were playing couldn't show up. He had work the whole 9. So it was really a 1-on-2. Those guys kind of wax the individual by himself, which is tough in a 4-ball because it's 2 versus 1. Conditions aren't ideal. So they're now sitting in the clubhouse, kind of waiting, warming up, drying off. You guys are the complete opposite, where you're, sloshing out there nonstop, and your break, I think, was a lot shorter than theirs, which I also think benefited you guys.
For sure.
Do you think that played a role in things?
Well, yeah, we actually saw them walking in when our match was on the 9th green. So,
wow.
We had 7 holes left. It's probably 2+ hours before we teed off for the for the final match. And yeah, they offered us, I think, 30 minutes, and we said, how about 20? Like, we don't want to sit down. We had a little bite to eat, and let's just, wasn't really raining that hard at that point. So we're like, all right, let's just turn and get back out there.
Yeah.
And we were able to get 3. And then Jerry had an unbelievable shot to about 2 feet on 4 for eagle. And then, we kept the momentum going, 5, 6, and 7, and 9 and 11. I think we won. So I do think that kind of did play a big part. We were able to just kind of get back out there.
Yeah, I mean, you're 4 up through 11 holes. They do come back and they win 14-15. So there's 2 up. There's still 3 to go. What is the mindset after you lose both 14-15, like saying, hey, listen, we are 2 up. We got 3 holes to go. I can't lie. Austin and I were in the same spot, and the guy that we played went birdie, 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 and we lost. So I got to, unfortunately, experience that firsthand, but you guys didn't. What was the thought process when you got to that 16th tee box?
Well, the tees were all the way back for the final day. I don't think they've been used yet, and that fairway was rather wet. So, while we were walking over there, Henry and I were saying, like, hey, like, pars pars are going to be awesome here. Like if they make a birdie, that's going to be really tough. And we're able to both put our shots on the green in regulation, and they weren't. So we said, like, all right, let's not give them any space here. And Henry was able to 2-putt for us. But yeah, that 16th being such a hard hole, I think sort of calmed us down, saying like, hey, like birdies are really unlikely here. So let's just get back, hit the fairway, hit the green, make a par. If they can make a par too, then we'll go to 17.
Yeah. And we had to face a couple obstacles on the green as well. When I was putting the puddles and Sean was putting too, the puddles were getting so big that I was lining up my 15-footer, and one of the heads of the New Jersey Golf, he started squeegeeing it while I was lining up my putt. He's like, all right, wait a second. I'm like lining it up. He's like, all right, go, go, go. And I putt it, and then the puddle's like forming as my ball's going, and it gets like blocked by like this puddle of water. And I still have like 4 feet, and it just like stopped on a dime. So then my 4-footer was through a puddle, and I was just kind of closing my eyes and hoping for the best at that point. But I was happy to knock it in there.
Yeah, it was sort of the exact opposite for us in the morning. We both had pretty short putts to win on 16. Henry missed, and then it was up to me to make it, and it was the exact opposite. Pretty much from the same spot in the final. I missed, 4-footer, and then Henry had pretty much the same putt, and he was able to knock it down. So would have been a little dicey had we had to go to 17 because that fairway was underwater, and I'm glad we didn't have to.
Yeah, one of our competitors didn't have a putter as well, so
also would have been tough. Yeah,
got a little frustrated.
That's insane. I heard the story about them squeegeeing the greens before you guys were putting. I didn't realize, and I don't think I was told, that it was on your last putt to win the tournament. I didn't realize that. I thought it was just like, middle of the round, we're squeegeeing things here. The last putt to win, we got the squeegee out. Yeah, right. That might help a guy like me.
Mike, you need all the help you can get. So that's maybe we'll just pack it in the bag. We'll get like a portable one and bring it with us.
Yeah, they were working hard for us, and they were sort of ahead of us for most of the final match, but they were sort of doing it right in front of us on 16. And it's sort of a weird, mental part of it because, the cups are all wet. They're probably not going to catch something with a lot of speed, but also the greens are super wet and you got to hit them. So luckily for Henry, he knocked it down and here we are.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy to me to think that you guys are going from what are normally very fast, undulating, big breaking putts to now it's like, let's take the driver out and just bang it through the puddle and hope it gets there.
Yeah, that's basically what I was thinking. It was just hit and hope, to be honest, because you have no idea what a ball is going to do through water. It could go either ways. And I was so happy that I made that one because I knew it was going to be the same thing on 17 and 18. But yeah, it was putting through a lake there. It was impossible.
Yeah, I think Walter was our referee for the final match, and 6 straight holes he had to help me with water relief. So, yeah.
I think the position you guys were in prior, like you did your work earlier in the round and the mindset being much different. Like Jerry and Ethan are probably going into 16 thinking, okay, these guys are just going to play as conservative as possible, hit the fairway, hit the middle of the green, take their 2-putt, and we need to be better. And knowing that those conditions to go for birdies is going to be tough. Like you guys really had, it might be a 3-shot or a 3-hole advantage going into 16, but really it's more than that because it's a tough hill to overcome in that weather with those conditions in having that mindset. So you guys had the right mindset of just, hey, birdies are going to be tough. Let's just work for our par and get out of here with a win.
Now, as we kind of look ahead, is this something that you two, now you're in for a while. You don't have to worry about qualifying, and no one hates qualifying. I mean, no one likes qualifying. It's the worst thing in the world because you got to play the best round that you can, and otherwise you're out. Is this you guys going to be like, now we got to keep our eyes on you two moving forward?
Well, it's going to come down to Henry's college schedule next year. When the 4-ball lines up, when his school ends, we'll definitely be back if we can. And if not, then I'm going to have to find somebody else and go to qualifying.
Henry's gonna have to move some things around to make it happen.
Yeah.
Floorball.
Yeah, he's gonna have to make get an F on one of his finals and just say, "Hey, listen, it happens. You know,
Yeah.
you gotta go play in the four ball."
Yeah. Got to defend.
And if I'm not mistaken, Henry, like your golf season should be over in college by then. At least it might be close, but it should be because it's the second week in May. You should be kind of.
Yeah. I think the Patriot League Championship was the week before, but it's just finals that I'm gonna have to worry about. I think their finals was the week of the floorball this week, so just fingers crossed that it doesn't line up next year.
Okay, maybe you have some professors that'll actually real human beings that'll make you allow you to do something virtually.
Yeah.
I do want you guys to comment a little bit on Canoe Brook and talk about like what that golf club and that membership and that facility is like and what it's done for you two, over the years. I did reach out to Reed this morning. Him and I chatted. He had nothing but unbelievable things to say about the two of you, your families, how you were brought up, the whole nine. So, I think I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you two, like, what does that golf club, country club, the entire thing mean to the two of you?
Yeah, Reed, first off, he's, I think, one of the best in the business. I think this is year 8 or 9 for him at Canoe Brook, and I am old enough to remember before he was there, and he has just elevated sort of every aspect of the club, not just golf, to another level. And the amount of support that we got after the victory, when we were eating dinner, and in the hours after Wednesday night there was pretty awesome. People that I do know, people that I don't know. And I think Henry could say the same, but yeah, that's really when it sunk in for me, is when, I had 120 messages in the hour since we won. But yeah, Canoe Brook is awesome. The support that we've gotten, not just since we've won, but whenever we play in tournaments, people are always asking, people are always keeping track. So it's really a great place.
Yeah. I mean, I couldn't be happier growing up there. I basically spend every single day in the spring, summer, and fall there. I caddy there. I did my internship there, and I just play there every day. I have so many friends from there that I play with, and it's the reason that I'm here with you guys right now. I've met so many people there, and the entire community is awesome. I couldn't say anything better about it, and I'm just grateful for the support from everybody.
Are you guys ready for that new range to get done?
Oh my.
I mean,
Yes.
I've seen some of the pictures, and I mean, I'm excited to come back out there and see it. Forget about living there the way you two do.
Yeah, it's been a bit of an adjustment for us. When you're playing before you can manage in your round without warm up, and it's just the practice for us. Like I love practicing, something that I've learned to love, but that's sort of been gone. So, yeah, I'm ready for it to be done. I think June 15th is the soft date right now. But yeah, I think it'll be a big improvement over what we had too.
Yeah, I'm the same with Sean. I'm like the type of person to just beat balls till the sun goes down. So it's been a little tough, but Matt Hardy at Mendham's been able to let me go to the range every once in a while, which is very generous of him. But yeah, I can't wait for it to be done and just spend the entire day there. And it's all track manned out. The green, it's gonna be so cool.
Yeah, I mean, when we were there, we saw the beginnings of it. It's going to be great.
Yeah. So listen, congrats again. I mean, I envious. I'm jealous. I'm impressed. I can't come up with enough adjectives to describe what you two endured that whole way, and beating big time players each and every round was beyond impressive. So congrats again, and thank you so much for coming on today's show.
Yeah, thanks guys. Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Yeah, fellas, congrats. Just to echo Mike, and really impressive what you did. You guys have very bright futures in golf, and hopefully, you guys keep winning, and we'll keep having you come on back.
Yeah, it sounds good to me.
All right, fellas, take care.